Well, hello everyone. We've made it to the final series of week number 3 in my APBA Baseball Great Teams of the Past, season number 2. Today's game features the 1922 New York Giants visiting the 1925 Washington Senators. This is game number 2 of their 4-game series. Game number 1 was a good one. It went 12 innings. Washington scored first on Goose Goslin's RBI groundout in the bottom of the third. Giants tied in the top of the fifth on Casey Stengel's RBI double. It stayed 1-1 until the top of the 12th when the Giants' Ross Youngs led off with a double and scored on George Kelly's RBI single. So the Giants took game 1 2-1 in 12 innings. 3 New York pitchers limited Washington to just 3 hits in those 12 innings. So with the win, the Giants are now 4-1. They had the bye in week 2, so they've played fewer games than anyone, but their .800 winning percentage currently has them atop the standings. With the loss, the Senators are now 5-4. Earlier in week 3, the 1930 Cardinals swept the 1922 Browns, the 1920 Indians and the 1929 Cubs split a 4-game series, and the 1927 Yankees took 3 of 4 from the 1927 Pirates. The 1919 Cincinnati Reds were off in week number 3. Here are the starting lineups for game 2 of this series. Leading off for the Giants, Dave Bancroft playing short. Heine Groh batting second, playing third base. Frankie Frisch is the second baseman. Irish Musial hits cleanup and plays left field. Ross Youngs is the right fielder. George Kelly is the first baseman. Casey Stengel plays center field. Frank Snyder is the catcher. And the starting pitcher for the Giants will be Phil Douglas. Douglas won his first start in week 1, pitched a complete game, allowed just 2 runs. For the Senators, Earl McNeely will lead off and play center field. Bucky Harris is at second base. Sam Rice is in right field. Goose Goslin's in left. Joe Judge is at first base. Ossie Bluegie's at third base. Roger Peckinpah's the shortstop. Muddy Rule is the catcher. And the starting pitcher is Walter Johnson. And Johnson looking to become just a handful of pitchers who could possibly be 3-0 after 3 starts. Johnson won both of his first 2 starts, has a 2.84 ERA in 19 innings. So those are the lineups. 22 New York Giants, they won the World Series that year. 25 Washington Senators, they lost the World Series that year to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's get things started. Dave Bancroft to lead things off for the Giants. Bancroft hitting just 125 in the first 5 games, went 1 for 6 in game 1. And he gets things started with by hitting a fly ball into right field, which Sam Rice catches for the first out. Heine Groh, one of a number of Giants hitters who are struggling, just 111 average after 5 games, 0 for 4 in game 1. And Walter Johnson strikes him out. 2 outs for Frankie Frisch, and the Giants' 1, 2, 3 hitters not been good at all this season. We mentioned Bancroft, the leadoff hitter, was at 125. Groh, the number 2 hitter, at 111. Well, Frankie Frisch just 091 through 5 games, 0 for 5 in game 1. And yet somehow the Giants are 4-1. Frisch, lazy fly ball to center field, which McNeely catches for the third out, 1, 2, 3 inning for Walter Johnson. Leading off for the Senators in the bottom of the first is Earl McNeely. McNeely hitting just 154 through 9 games, 0 for 5 in game 1. He will line one into center field, but Casey Stengel makes the catch. 1 away. Bucky Harris now. Harris hitting 231 on the season, 0 for 4 in game 1. He will do something good with that 66 and roll on his second column. And he will belt one into the right center field gap, and Harris will make his way into second base with a double. So 1 out, Sam Rice comes to the plate. Rice hitting 300 on the season. Had 2 of the 3 Washington hits in game 1. One of them was a triple, but he was stranded on third base after that triple. Ground ball to third base. Groh has it. Looks the base runner back to second. Groh throws over to first and gets the second out. Base runner has to stay put. So still a runner on second. 2 outs for Goose Goslin. Goslin hitting 297, 1 for 5 in game 1. And another 66. And this is on the single column. So Goslin drives one to center field, and it's back, back, back. It's gone. Goose Goslin gives the Washington Senators a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. And you have to wonder, Walter Johnson, that might be enough for him. Joe Judge comes to the plate. Should mention for Goose Goslin, that is his first home run of the season. He had 18 of them in 1925. But here's Joe Judge, 281 hitter, 0 for 5 in game 1. And he will line a ball into center field, and it falls in for a base hit. 2 outs, runner on for Ossie Belugi. Team worst 103 average in 8 games. Was 0 for 4 in game 1. Ground ball to second. Frisch has it. Over to first. And that is the end of the first inning. But Washington, 2 runs on 3 hits. The Goose Goslin home run gets things underway for the Senators. Leading off, the top of the second for the Giants, their cleanup hitter, Irish Musial. 308 average through 5 games, 1 for 5 in game 1. Hits it into right field, but catchable. Sam Rice has it for the first out. Ross Young's hitting 333 on the season. 2 for 5 in game 1, scored both of the Giants' runs. Here, though, hits a fly ball into left, which Goose Goslin will catch for the second out. George Kelly's the hitter, 263 average, 1 for 4, had the game-winning RBI in the top of the 12th in the first game. Ground ball to short, taken by Peckinpah, throws over to first, and another 1-2-3 inning. Go to the bottom of the second, and Peckinpah will lead off for the Senators. He is batting .323. He had an amazing first week. Second week wasn't quite so good. Average fell to .323. That's still number 2 on the team. It's 0 for 4 in game 1. Hits it well, but hits it at Casey Stengel in center field, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Muddy Rule hitting just .138. 0 for 4 in game 1. But this time lines a base hit into right field. He is aboard with a single. Here is Walter Johnson. Johnson won 20 games in 1925, but maybe even more impressively, a .433 batting average. He has a pretty amazing card here with a lot of hits on it. But with a runner on first base, we're going to let Johnson try to bunt him over. And he will do so successfully. So 2 outs, runner on second for Earl McNeely. Flew out his first time up. And he hits a ground ball to second base, which Frankie Frisch collects and sends over to first for the third out. We go to the top of the third. Casey Stengel leading off for the Giants. He is hitting a team best .444 through 5 games, 8 hits in his 18 at-bats. Team high 6 runs batted in as well. Went 2 for 4 with a double in game 1. And Stengel takes ball 4. He's the first Giant base runner. That'll bring up Frank Snyder, the catcher, hitting .286, 0 for 4 in game 1. Fouls it back behind the plate. The catcher, Muddy Rule, chases after it, and it stays in foul territory where Rule can catch it for the first out. That'll bring up the pitcher, Phil Douglas. Runner on first with 1 out. He'll look to bunt. Not a good bunt. Johnson picks it up and throws to second, and the runner is retired at second. Johnson will make it to first on the fielder's choice. Or Douglas, I should say, makes it to first on the fielder's choice. So now 2 outs, runner on first for Bancroft, who flew out his first time up. And he will fly out again, hitting it into center field. Keneally makes the catch, and the Giants are retired again. Here's Bucky Harris, doubled in the first inning. This time hits a ground ball left side. Groh has it at third. He throws over to first, 1 away. Sam Rice, 0 for 1. And he rolls an 11, and he gets to roll on his second column. Will it be extra bases? Yes, it will. He hits one into the gap, and Sam Rice will make his way to second base with a double. So here is Goose Goslin, 2-run homer in the first inning. Chance to give the Senators some more runs with Sam Rice in scoring position. And Goslin puts one in the left center field gap. It's to the wall. Bounces off the wall. Rice is going to score easily. Goslin is into second. Back-to-back doubles for Rice and Goslin. And now the Senators lead 3-0 in the bottom of the third. That'll bring Joe Judge to the plate. He singled in the first inning. He will look at ball 4. Runners on first and second. Still just 1 out. Aussie Belugi comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1. And Douglas strikes him out for out number 2. Roger Peckinpah flew out his first time up. And this time, ground ball to third. Groh has it and gets the third out. So the Senators add 1 more. Goose Goslin's driven in all 3 runs here today for the Senators. We go to the 4th. Grow struck out his first time up. Pops him up left side. Third baseman makes the catch. First out. Frankie Frisch, 0 for 1. Hits it into center field. Catchable. McNeely has it for the second out. Irish Musial flew out his first time up. And he will line one into center field for a base hit. First hit of the game for the Giants. Coming in the top of the fourth, courtesy of Irish Musial. Runner on first, 2 outs. Ross Young's 0 for 1 today. And he will look at ball 4. That'll put runners on first and second with 2 outs for George Kelly, who is 0 for 1. Ground ball to third. Blue Jay has it over to first. That is end of the top of the fourth. We go to bottom of the fourth. Senators still leading 3-0. Muddy Rule to lead things off. He singled his first time up. He will do so again. Rule now 2 for 2. Another base hit. Here is Walter Johnson again. We're going to let him sacrifice again. And again, it is successful. Rule advances to second base with 1 out. Back to the top of the order, and Earl McNeely. And I think another run's going to score as we get to roll on McNeely's second column. And McNeely drives one to center field. It's over Stengel's head. It's to the wall. It's gone. 2-run home run, Earl McNeely. He had only 3 of them in 1925. That is his actually second of the season already. Second in 10 games in this mini season. So it is 5-0 Senators in the bottom of the fourth. That brings Bucky Harris to the plate, 1 for 2 with a double. Ground ball right side. First baseman Kelly takes it himself for the second out. Here's Sam Rice, 1 for 2 with a double. Ground ball left side. Bro has it. Throws across the field over to first for the third out. So on the McNeely home run, Senators add 2 more. It is 5-0 Senators heading to the top of the fifth. Casey Stengel to lead things off. He walked his first time up. Fly ball into right field. Deep but catchable, and Sam Rice has it for the first out. There's Frank Snyder, flew out the first time up. Re-roll the red die that got hung up. Snyder pops it up, left side. Blue Jay calls for it. 2 outs. Here's the pitcher, Phil Douglas. He's given up 5 runs on 8 hits in the first 4 innings. Giants had to use their best 2 relievers yesterday, leaving them not great options in the pen to go at least 4 more innings. So we're going to let Douglas go a little bit longer. Ground ball to short. Peckinpah has it, throws it over to first, and the Giants are retired. We go to the bottom of the fifth. Goslin to lead things off for the Senators. Home run, a double, drove in the Senators' first 3 runs. This time, however, pops it up. Frisch, the second baseman, calls for it and is the first out. Joe Judge has reached base both times, single and a walk. Ground ball down the first base line. George Kelly able to make the play. Tags first himself, out number 2. Here's Aussie Bluegee, 0 for 2. Fly ball into right. Youngs will make the catch. And Douglas able to get a 1-2-3 inning there. We go to the 6th. Washington still leading 5-0. Giants back to the top of the order for the 3rd time. Dave Bancroft is 0 for 2. Ground ball, left side. Bluegee comes up with it, throws over to first for the first out. And he grows 0 for 2. Hits it into left. Goose Goslin runs it down, makes the catch for the second out. Frankie Frisch, 0 for 2 today. And he hits one into center, which Earl McNeely will catch, and another 1-2-3 inning for Walter Johnson. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Roger Peckinpah to lead things off. He is 0 for 2. Hits it into left field. Catchable for Irish Musial, and that's out number 1. Muddy Rule has a pair of singles on the day. This time, however, he'll hit a ground ball right at George Kelly, the first baseman, who grabs it and steps on first base for the second out. Now Walter Johnson has laid down 2 sacrifice bunts the first 2 times up. This time he'll get to swing away. As we said, a lot of hits on this card, but not this time. Ground ball to second. Frisch has it over to first. A second consecutive 1-2-3 inning for Phil Douglas. We go to the 7th, still 5-0 Senators. Irish Musial to lead things off. He is 1 for 2. He has the Giants' only hit of this game. First pitch, he fouls it away. Next pitch, hits it hard. Actually, no, he doesn't. He pops it up. He pops it up left side. Aussie Bluegee makes the catch. 1 down. Ross Young's 0 for 1 with a walk. And Young's will be set down on strikes. 2 away. Here's George Kelly, has grounded out twice. And he will do so again as he hits one to Joe Judge at first base. Side retired. 7th inning stretch. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Earl McNeely comes to the plate for the 4th time, 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Can he do it again? Rolls an 11. We go to his second column. It is not. This time, just a base hit into right field. But the leadoff runner is aboard for the Senators. Bucky Harris comes to the plate, 1 for 3 with a double. He looks at ball 1 and then ball 2. Ground ball to short. Bancroft has it, tosses it to Frisch at second, gets the first out on to first base, but Harris beats it out. And so just a fielder's choice and the first out of the inning. Here's Sam Rice, 1 for 3 with a double. Hits it into right and deep, but at the warning track, Ross Youngs makes the catch, and there are 2 outs. Goose Goslin is 2 for 3, 2-run homer in the first inning, RBI double in the third inning. Lines one into right field, but right at Ross Youngs, he makes the catch for the third out. So the Senators can't do anything after the leadoff single, and we go to the eighth. Washington still leads 5-0. Walter Johnson allowing just 1 hit so far through his first 7 innings. Casey Stengel leads off the eighth. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Ground ball up the middle. Peckinpah has it and throws it over to Joe Judge for the first out. It's Frank Snyder 0 for 2. Pops it up left side. Bluegee makes the play. 2 outs. And now we are to Phil Douglas. And I think this time we will replace Phil Douglas for a pinch hitter. 5 runs, 9 hits in 7 innings of work. Here is Johnny Rawlings. Come up and pinch hit with 2 outs, nobody on. And Rawlings is going to do something good as 66 gets to roll on his second column. He will line one into the gap. It will fall in. Rawlings will motor his way around to second base. He has a double. Just the second hit of the game for the Giants. Now Dave Bancroft will come to the plate with 2 outs. Bancroft 0 for 3. Bancroft will take ball 4. Giants now have runners at first and second. 2 outs for Heine Groh, who is 0 for 3. And Groh will hit one into right field. Catchable. Sam Rice has it for the third out. Giants need a new pitcher. As we said, they used their 2 best relievers in game 1, which went 12 innings. So they are going to go with Jack Scott. This will be Scott's first appearance of the season. For the Senators, bottom 8th, Joe Judge to lead things off. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. He is going to do something good as that 33 gets to roll on his second column. And Judge hits one hard. It's off the wall, rolls back. Judge trying for a double. He's in there. Leadoff double for Joe Judge. And that will bring Aussie Bluegee to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Pops it up. Bancroft, the shortstop, calls for it. 1 out. Here's Roger Peckinpah, 0 for 3. He will take ball 4. Now there are runners on first and second with 1 out for Muddy Rule. and Scott will strike him out for the second out. And Walter Johnson comes to the plate, 2 sacrifice bunts and a ground out. It's a fly ball into center field, which Casey Stengel will catch for the final out. So we go to the ninth, last chance for the Giants. Walter Johnson has allowed just 2 hits in 8 innings. Frankie Frisch to lead things off. He is 0 for 3. Ground ball to short. Peckinpah has it over to first, but his throw is in the dirt. Judge can't scoop it out, and Frankie Frisch is aboard on the throwing error. That'll bring Irish Musial to the plate. He is 1 for 3, has one of just the 2 giant hits. Musial hits one to right, which Sam Rice will catch for the first out. That'll bring up Ross Young's 0 for 2 with a walk. Walter Johnson will strike him out. Giants are down to their last out. It's George Kelly, who is 0 for 3. And he will hit a lazy fly ball into left field, which Goose Goslin will catch. No problem there. And that is the ball game. Washington Senators win this one 5-0 over the New York Giants. 2-hit shutout for Walter Johnson. Washington, 5 runs on 10 hits. They made 1 error, left 7 runners on base. The Giants, 0 runs on 2 hits, 0 errors. Giants left 6 runners on base. Of Washington's 10 hits, they had 4 players with multi-hit games. McNeely, Goslin, Judge, and Rule all had 2 hits. Goslin, home run and a double, drove in 3. McNeely had a 2-run homer. Harris, Rice, and Judge all had doubles. 6 of the 10 Senators' hits went for extra bases. Walter Johnson, one of now just a couple of pitchers in the league who are now 3-0 after 3 starts, and might be only the 3rd shutout so far by any pitcher this season. 9 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the big train. For the Giants, just 2 hits. Irish Musial had one of them, and Johnny Rollins had a pinch hit double, but none of those led to anything for the Giants. Phil Douglas will take the loss, 7 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Jack Scott came in and pitched the 8th inning for the Giants. So with that, New York drops to 4-2 on the season. Washington improves to 6-4. This was game 2 of their series, so action now switches to the Polo Grounds for games 3 and 4. You can find out what happened in those games by going to rogersportsgames.com for this entire series recaps, box scores, stats, and much more. And seeing as this is the final series of week number 3, soon after that recap gets posted, then we will have the week 3 recap with standings and league leaders. So hope you enjoyed this one. Great pitching performance by Walter Johnson, and it was a good one. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.